Okay, let's see. Let's pick up where I left off. This is going to be part three of the three-part series, and I think this should be the last in this series. There will be more series just on this one. This is filling in the blanks on my life history. I think I left off with um, I'm divorced. She's dead. Take your pick. I choose to say dead. And you know, I really I don't wish any ill will on her. I really don't. Um, I should be better, and I have been better. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I remember one day I was sitting. Uh, I was in the Philippines, and I was sitting in my condo, and I started something. I don't know. Made me think about something that I had let go of because of getting divorced, and it really angered me. And I started thinking about everything that um, I had built up uh, preparing for retirement. I mean, I had bought, and I want to say it this way: I bought because she never bought anything except for whatever it was that she wanted, whatever it was that she she was providing herself with. From the time we remarried and got the house, every penny that she made was hers. Now, yeah, she probably bought me a birthday gift or something like that, or but every money she all the money she made went to whatever she wanted to buy, and the money that I made went to providing for us, provide by house payments, car payments, insurance payments, utility payments, everything it cost, anything that we had to spend money on, providing our way of life, uh, I paid for. And you know we had a thing where I don't know what it was, but we could never find the right couch. And we lived 8 years in this house. Um, and I think we had five different couches. We could never find the right one. I don't know what it was. Um, but I also started, had been listening to some people, and this was during COVID. And you know how things got during COVID, crazy. And I started thinking, we need to start stocking up on stuff. And we started stocking up on things like toilet paper, just like everybody else was. I didn't go as crazy with toilet paper like some people did, but I bought a lot of toilet paper. We were buying tubs, and I had at one time, coffee cans. I had probably 12 of those. Folgers coffee, you know, 3 pounds, 2 pounds, whatever's in one of those things. I know they got some different sizes, but uh, canned goods. I started buying um, survival things, preparing for what I thought was probably one day going to be, some anarchy kind of periods. I mean, it's just the way everybody was thinking at that time. And I decided, uh, I want to be prepared. So I started buying things. And I also knew, too, just something told me that everything was going to go up in price. And so I started stocking up on everything. Everything that we normally would use, I started buying extras in advance. Toothpaste, toilet paper, you name it, we were buying it. At one point, I had a freezer, those 3-pound chubs of ground beef. They come in, they call them chubs, and it's 3 pounds in each one of them. It's a roll. I know I had at least 15 of those, 3-pounders, 15 of those. So we were buying everything, preparing for it. I had bought some gold. I had bought some silver. We had, I started getting into buying guns and ammunition too. And I had a little bit of everything. You name it, I had. Well, I won't say you name it, I had it. But in the event that the apocalypse was going to hit, the zombies were coming, I prepared for it, man. I had an AR-15. I had a 300 Win Mag, which is a real long distance, big game gun with a lot of kick. I mean, a lot of kick. And I had that. I had 3 or 4 pistols. I had handguns. I had 2 shotguns. I had a lever action rifle. I had a little bit of everything and ammo for them. I was stocked up. We were ready. If something was going to happen, I was going to be ready. I didn't want to be a victim. And I had figured out how to turn the house into a fortress and the whole 9 yards. Well, you know how things turned out. Things come and go, but I still had all that stuff, you know. We had 2 generators. I had a 12,000 watt generator and a 4,000 watt generator. We had extra gas cans. You name it, we had it. My garage was full of tools. I had an axe. I had some machetes. I mean, I took the time to get everything. Now, this didn't happen overnight. This went on for 3 or 4 years, but we stocked up on a lot of stuff. At one point, we actually bought a trailer, 33-foot long travel trailer. Now, I bought a pickup truck, 4-wheel drive, old Chevy Silverado pickup truck. I had my car. She drove the new car. I drove the older car, which I liked my car. I didn't have no problem with that. But anyway, everything was all about preparing for retirement, preparing for bad times, and trying to make her as happy as possible. This second marriage to her, I had bought into the phrase happy wife, happy life. And I guess you can say I believed it, I guess. And I went about trying to do it that way. I did everything I could to make that woman happy. I realize now that was probably my biggest mistake. Now I'm not going to get into any details why that happens, but eventually it just wasn't enough. And eventually she just decided she wanted to give up, didn't want to be married anymore. And when she did that and filed for divorce, something I thought she would never do, because she always said she wouldn't. She said, Rick, I'll never take your money. She wanted half of everything. Half of everything. And she meant everything. And she listed everything we had. And went about doing, and took half of everything I had worked my butt off. Knowing, I told her one day, you know, while we were in the middle of the divorce, I said, you realize you never bought any of that stuff. You don't deserve half of everything. She said, I know, but that's the law. Well, anyway, she got half of everything. She got half the house. I had to sell the house because I couldn't afford to pay her off. I mean, retirement was right around the corner. And, I mean, the whole thing just shattered me. It just shattered me. I didn't know what to do. I really didn't. And so I just kind of went along with everything, let it happen. And eventually I had to think about, okay, well, what are you going to do? Now I'm 64 at this time. I had been thinking about retiring at full retirement age, which was 66 and 8 months. And I was going to quit January of 2025 and actually retire and wait till May, and then at full retirement age start collecting Social Security. But I quit my job in April. The whole thing just took the wind out of my sails. I just I couldn't go to work anymore. I was seriously depressed, and I just didn't know what to do. And one day I decided, I'm just gonna retire, take the money, and figure it out. And in the meantime, I'm gonna take me a little trip. And on her side of the family, she had a couple nephews who had got divorced and ended up going to the Philippines and finding wives, and they brought them back to the U.S. and they were pretty happy. And I thought, okay, I'll go to the Philippines. We'll try this out. And that's what I did. I went to the Philippines, and in June of 2023, I hopped on an airplane after I had gotten rid of everything I owned practically. I had a little bit of stuff, stuck it in a storage unit, took my car to my brother's house, and said, here, watch over this while I'm gone. He said, when you coming back? I said, I don't know. And I jumped on a plane. I went to the Philippines. I was there for 3.5 months. And there were we weren't quite sure. I wasn't quite sure if I was going to be able to start collecting Social Security. I had heard that it was difficult to begin collecting Social Security overseas. So I decided to come back. And in September, which was also the time that I was going to sign up for Medicare, so I came back in September, signed up for Social Security, signed up for Medicare, decided that, okay, I think I need to figure out, am I going to work or am I going to stay retired? And I said, I think I probably better work for a minute, because I had spent some money on that trip. And that 3.5 months, I spent a dime or two on that, more than I even want to admit. I said, I'll get, what the heck, I'll get a job. So I got a job, and I got a real nice apartment, and I started working again. And it didn't take me but about 4 months, and I realized, oh man, I really don't want to keep working. And I really liked it over there in the Philippines, and I decided to get out of my lease. I had bought all new furniture, and I put all my furniture in a storage unit, in the unit that I had already. I put all of it in there, and took the car back over to my brother's again, and I said, I'm going back to the Philippines. He said, well, when you come back? I said, I don't know, but I'll let you know. And I went back to where I had been staying at, because of where I was staying at, I really liked it. There were a lot of expats there that I had got to know. The place I was staying at, which was One Pacific Residence in Lapu-Lapu, which was a little island just off of, it was a island that you'd take a bridge. Actually, there were 3 bridges. You would take a bridge over to, coming from Cebu City, which was on the island of Cebu. Philippines is made up of a bunch of islands, and one of the islands was Cebu. and Cebu City, which was the second largest city in the Philippines, just under Manila. And it was like 5 million people. And so, and I had lived just over the bridge outside of Cebu City on a smaller island. But it had, it had a lot of people there. Well, maybe 100,000, something like that. I don't know. I can't really remember now what it was. But the area I lived in was a mega world area. And if you know anything about Southeast Asia, Mega World is a big developer over there. They develop in condos, and they make condos, and they try to develop areas that are westernized to attract the Westerners, and also Koreans. A lot of Koreans went there. Anyway, where I was staying at was real modern. I liked the condo, so I went back. There, and I was there for about a year and a half. And I had developed some I developed a medical issue that I wasn't sure if, well, I was worried that it could get bad. And if, I don't know if you know this or not, Medicare does not work overseas. Now it'll cover you if you're like traveling. You're good for like the first couple months of traveling, but after that, Medicare doesn't cover it. So I was worried that something was going to happen, and so I decided to come back from the Philippines. And my brother's health was also getting bad. I was worried about him, and I was worried that I was going to be overseas and something happened to him. And if you knew anything about my brother, you could understand why I was saying that. I think I might have even mentioned him a few times in some other videos. But I was worried about that, and I was worried about my own health. So I decided to come back, and I decided to come back and live in the town where he lives and has been living for the past 40 plus years. And so I got an apartment and got a job and said, well, I'll work until I can figure out what I'm going to do next. And because I really can't afford to live the way I want to in retirement like I did over in the Philippines, because your money goes, oh man, you can live really good, pretty cheap over there. And so I got a job. That job lasted about 4 months, and it was a little more than I cared for. Really wasn't that bad of a job, but it was putting on more hours than I really wanted to do, so I quit it. And I've been off work for about the last 3 months, and trying to decide what I want to do. I'm not sure if I'm going to go back to work. I'm not sure if I'm going to stay retired. I know that to live the way I want to do, I'm going to have to probably pick up something, unless I hit the lottery on this YouTube thing. And who knows, because I've been starting to notice that I'm getting more and more views and more likes, and I don't know. Anyway, we'll see what happens. But anyway, I'm now back in the U.S. I'm in town that my brother lives in, and I'm trying to pick up the pieces after all the ripping and running for the past 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is now, 2.5 years since my wife died. And we'll see what happens. One little thing I do want to say, I did get a girlfriend while I was over in the Philippines, and we are still in communication. We're doing that LDR thing, and she's a great gal. She really is. She has made my life fun again. I'll just say that. Right now, she's going to school. She's going to become a caregiver. And the idea is to get her to become a caregiver, get a license, and become a caregiver and come to the U.S. And hopefully she can be, well, she might be my brother's caregiver, because we found out the other day that his setup on his insurance, he actually qualifies for one. And if we can get her over here and get her in the U.S. and kill two birds with one stone, hey, I'm all for it. So we'll see what happens. You're going to start seeing some videos. I'm going to start talking about living in the Philippines. In the almost 2 years that I spent over there, I learned a lot. And I watched a lot of videos before I first went to the Philippines. And there's a bunch of vloggers out there that they'll give you their 2 cents worth on what it's like to be in the Philippines. And I've got some ideas, some things that I've learned I want to share. And also, too, I'm going to start focusing on things relating to sobriety and staying sober in retirement. And if you choose to go overseas, things that you might want to know about that too when it comes to sobriety. So I got a lot of ideas. I got a lot of stuff in the plan. So I don't know if we're going to start seeing a video every day, at least couple, 2 times, 2-3 times a week anyway. And so I think that pretty much brings us full circle now. So you're all caught up on what my history is. And then now we'll just go ahead and live the dream in retirement from this point on, and you can do it with me. Thanks for watching. Please hit that like button and subscribe button and share with others if you can. And if you have any comments, please leave them. I try to do everything I can about getting all the comments answered. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one.